This is my informative presentation and this is my audience. I saw a humorous video once about a girl talking to her boyfriend how she's been having difficult sleeping, all her sweaters are snagged, and she's been aching. The whole time, she has a huge nail in her head and doesn't even realize it. The boyfriend tries to point it out, but she just said, "It's not about the nail, just listen, you always do this." This is often the role that counselors play in our lives. Sometimes people want someone just to listen to us, not point out their flaws or issues. It's important to know the roles that counselors play, just in case you or someone else you know may need their guidance. Counselors have played a pivotal role in our society for a very long time. I myself am studying to be a counselor and have gone through counseling myself and saw how beneficial it was. I'm going to be informing you about the role of mental health counselors, crisis counselors, and substance abuse counselors. First, I'm going to be talking about the role of mental health counselors. Mental health is defined as our social, emotional, and psychological well-being. It affects how we think, act, and feel. Career Explorer defines a mental health counselor as someone who helps people manage or overcome mental and emotional disorders and problems with their family and relationships. People will often seek a mental health counselor if they are having difficulty managing their emotions. Counselors use a variety of tools and techniques to help their clients. Some techniques include cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and a goal-oriented approach. CBT is when the counselor helps the client recognize harmful behaviors and change them to positive behaviors. A goal-oriented approach is when the counselor helps the client understand and recognize bad thoughts and turn them into good thoughts. Mental health counselors can do a variety of things for their clients. First of all, they treat and diagnose mental disorders like bipolar, anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, things like that. They give clients tools and techniques that they can use to help them cope. They also refer clients when needed. Next, I'm going to be talking about the role of crisis counselors. Cherry says a crisis refers not necessarily to a traumatic situation or event, but to a person's reaction to the traumatic situation. A crisis counselor is someone who helps a person cope with the aftermath of a traumatic event. For instance, someone might need crisis intervention if they are thinking about harming themselves, if they've experienced a rape, if they're coming back from war, or things like that. Maybe they have a death of a loved one, divorce. They're all in psychological shock and may need a crisis counselor. Counselors can do a variety of things for their clients. First, crisis counselors will start with an initial intake and assessment. They'll discuss what they need and the services they need and the severity of their situation. Crisis counseling is usually short-term. It's not a long psychotherapy like other counseling. It's just to cope with the aftermath of the situation to prevent psychological damage or other distress. They also can advocate for their clients or make medical referrals or other type of referrals when needed. Overall, crisis counselors provide assistance and help stabilize their clients after a traumatic event. Finally, I'm going to be talking about the role of substance abuse counselors. A substance abuse is when someone is overusing drugs and alcohol. Some examples of substances that people often abuse are heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, marijuana, and especially alcohol. The Psychology School Guide website says a substance abuse counselor focuses on helping people overcome addiction and get rid of the dependency on drugs or alcohol. Oftentimes, they do not stress too much on the addiction, but what may be causing the addiction, such as social and emotional factors. Substance abuse counselors usually start with an initial intake and assessment as well to see what they are abusing and how severe their situation may be, how long they are abusing, and things like that. They come up with a plan for each specific client that's unique to them. There are a variety of plans that they can use, such as individual therapy, group therapy, and treatment classes. Individual therapy is when the counselor and client get one-on-one and discuss the root cause of the substance abuse issue. Group therapy is when a group of addicts get together and discuss their experience and relate to each other. And finally, treatment classes are classes done by the counselor that help the substance abusers have coping skills and decision-making skills. Overall, substance abuse counselors help people overcome significant hardships and addictions. In conclusion, I've informed you about 3 different types of counselors and the roles they play. We've talked about the role of mental health counselors, the role of crisis counselors, and substance abuse counselors. Counselors, like I've said before, they've played a pivotal role in our societies for a very long time. And remember, it's not always about the nail in the head. While counselors help their clients help themselves, it's not always about fixing their problems. Sometimes they just need someone to listen to and empathize with to get the support and validation that they need. Thank you.